Guys, we got some massive news and some massive new policies coming from the government which will impact everybody here in China when it comes to new energy vehicle makers, and it will eventually shift people towards vehicles that can do battery swap like NIOs. Let me explain. It is, of course, none other than the fact that in the year of 2024, insurance companies collectively have lost 5.7 billion RMB in losses solely due to new energy vehicle claims. All right. So these cars, they are much more expensive to repair, and often or not you have to repair them at the dealership, and as a result you can see that the statistic is it is 63% more expensive. The insurance fee is 63% more expensive than gasoline cars. And if you factor in the age, for example, some gasoline cars are much older, right? And if you factor in the age, new energy vehicle insurance fees are still 10% more expensive. And this is out of 2,795 different vehicles here in China, gasoline cars and new energy vehicles included. So pretty shocking statistic. Now, obviously, insurance companies aren't going to be losing money. They don't want to lose money. So what do? They outright jack up the price of insurance or outright deny insurance for a certain vehicle model altogether. And this is exactly a problem that's happening here in China. Some vehicle models are being rejected for insurance because of the potential fees when it comes to repairing that car. So to counteract this, the government has introduced this policy, which is to essentially gradually, all right, forbid insurance companies from denying a claim. Because very so often what happens is there's a scratch on the battery, or maybe the battery is a little bit old. The insurance company doesn't want to afford the bill, right? They throw it to the dealership. The dealership, warranty, it should be covered, but the dealership throws it back to the insurance company, and then you have this ball kicking back and forth, and in the end, the car owner suffers the most. So starting on January 25th, 10 a.m., there will be certain insurance companies that offer insurances where they cannot refuse or deny your claims. So your car gets repaired, there's a fee to it. Regardless, they're gonna have to cover it. Now, gradually forcing insurance companies to forbid them from refusing claims will inevitably even jack up the price of insurance even further, or create more problems, such as insurance companies denying insurance for certain vehicle models altogether. The root of the problem is, of course, the fact that for new energy vehicle makers, you basically have to go to the dealership to repair the car, which, the dealership has flexibility over the repair cost, and they normally set a very high price. Whereas with normal gasoline cars, you can get it repaired anywhere. But if you do the same thing with new energy vehicle makers, like you're not repairing the car at a dealership, you're repairing it outside by a third party, well, too bad, so sad, you might lose your warranty. And also what normally happens is that you will lose certain functions in the car because the manufacturer deems that it's too dangerous. All right, we're gonna shut down certain functions of the car because you repaired it outside. We're doing this for your safety. All for your safety. So of course you wouldn't risk it and repair it outside by a third party. You would go to the forest dealership. Now, how does this exactly impact all sorts of new energy vehicle companies? Well, think of it this way. The cost to repair normally is the highest for things like battery, right? For batteries, it's usually you just have to replace it. There's no hope of absolutely repairing a broken battery. But then you also have companies that have stuff like structural battery pack, whereas the battery is inside the structure of the car. So if you get into an accident and the structure of the car is damaged and the battery is degraded, what, you're going to change the entire structure of the car? Or if you damage the structure, you're going to also have to change the battery? That's just astronomical repair costs right there. But not just that. right now there's a bunch of like BYD car owners that are very upset with their range because of range degradation, battery degradation, and they're trying to find a way to replace the battery to get a new battery. And it's just the dealership and the insurance company kicking the ball back and forth. The problem's not being solved, and they're in this big headache right now. And if they afford to build themselves, that's like the price of a new car almost, right? It's the third of most of the time the battery cost is about a third of the cost of the car, or sometimes even half the total sticker price of the car. So their 4-year-old, 5-year-old EV or new energy vehicle, if they sell it right now, they might only be able to sell it for maybe even less than a third of the price that they bought it for. But then replacing the battery cost a third of the price that they bought it for. So you get the point. So because of high battery replacement costs, insurance fees will inevitably be very expensive for cars that cannot do battery swap, or outright deny insurance or make an astronomically high price if the cost to replace a battery is very high. For example, Polestar here in China, Polestar 3, it was reported that the cost to replace a new Polestar 3 battery after human labor cost was actually more expensive than buying a brand new Polestar 3. So then you can tell, well, of course you wouldn't want to buy that car, but at the same time, the insurance fee for that is astronomically high. So that also disencourages people from buying that car. So the big takeaway is the biggest risk and cost to a car is the battery and the battery insurance. And if you can't do battery swap, then you might have to suffer from higher insurance fees or outright being forced to pay for the battery change yourself, and you have to go out of your own pocket to buy a new battery. And you can imagine those cars with structural battery packs, yeah, that's going to be pretty expensive. You're changing the battery, but you're also changing the structure because the structure is the battery. What a damn mess. So that 5.7 billion RMB loss was in 2024. So of course, insurance companies are going to take measures to make sure that that is reduced or doesn't happen, or turn that into a profit. And of course, you're going to gradually see changes being made in 2025. And of course, that also may impact sales as insurance fees of certain cars get jacked up to the sky. So inevitably, you gotta be able to do battery swap. You gotta be able to, not have the risk, not carry the risk yourself. So, wow, quite some shocking information. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.